And of course, when you first start practicing this way of living life, a lot of things that you keep on telling yourself might sound first impossible, but it's normal. It's normal, it's human to doubt yourself. And also you have to understand that since we are small, we have been always told that you need to have something before you can become the person you want. That's just the way that we have grown up in our society. So it's also a lot of rewiring these like old patterns that start straight from the beginning of our lives. Your ego will be fighting like crazy. Your ego will want you to stay safe. Your ego is afraid of the new, because when you don't know something, it could be danger. That's signaling your body that I don't know what's gonna happen, so it's dangerous. Even if the known might not be good for you, it might be even more dangerous than going towards something that you don't know. Your body just wants to keep you in the safety net of the known. And this is the point where a lot of people give up on trying, because there is such a big point of resistance there. It takes so much discipline to break, and it's meant to feel uncomfortable. You need to bear the feeling of being uncomfortable. It's frustrating to think back at it, because myself, I have given up a lot of passion project just because my ego got in the way. My ego was trying to tell me that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. Why even try? Because there will be always someone else that's better than me. These are such illogical thought patterns to have that are just based in your own fears. We are filters. We just filter reality based on what we have gone through, based on our experiences, our fears, our emotions. And that's why it's very important to actively work on shifting these sorts of patterns, because they keep you blocked. They just keep you blocked from trying new things and experiencing, and it's just creating this barrier in front of your potential that you could be a lot more than what you are telling to yourself. I personally am on the path of wanting to become the teacher of my own mind. I want to be the one that's in control of what's happening. I don't want my emotions to lead me. I want to be the one that's able to guide it in the direction that I want to. And this gives you the ability to shift your own reality. I know it sounds a little bit like magic maybe, but it's something that us humans have. It's a skill that we own naturally. It's not a skill that's being spoken much in our society. You don't hear about it much. Luckily, it's something that people start to spread more and more, but you have this ability of shifting your own reality just by being able to control your mind. When I started learning about this, it really blew my mind. Not about the fact that it sounds a little bit magical, but by the fact that it's, at the end of the day, it's very simple. It's a very simple teaching. And by understanding that, you will realize that you will never see reality as it is. The mind is trained by constant repetition. It recalls all memories and triggers behaviors and emotions based on the triggers that it gets from your environment. Okay, let's take this example. You were little, you got bit by a dog. Nothing crazy, just maybe a bite on your arm, it hurt a bit, and that's it. Your parents started protecting you from every dog. You got never really any interaction with a dog. It made you aware there is something wrong with dogs. And with this constant repetition from your parents that dogs are dangerous and dogs are something to stay away from, you wire your brain to be scared of dogs, that all dogs are dangerous. Now you go out on a walk and you see a dog walker. You stay away from the dog because you're afraid that it might attack you. So it's a constant trigger to be afraid of dogs. However, if you manage to be the teacher of your own mind, You can rewire your brain to not be afraid anymore of dogs. You can rewire yourself to not get this trigger of fear every time you see a dog. You can start telling yourself that dogs are amazing companions. Dogs have so much love to give you. You might then take action and go to a shelter and pet some kind dogs to face your fears. With conscious actions like this, you can actually rewire your brain. With this sort of mindset, you can do it with anything, with any blockage you have. You just need to feed yourself with constant feedbacks, constant action, conscious behaviors towards the person you want to become. And just like that, also you start to filter your reality accordingly to what you want to be. Imagine that you're just capable to issuing instructions to your brain and to create beliefs and intentions that you can just operate through them. And you can just remove the ones that don't serve you no more. Isn't that beautiful? Especially now with social media where everything is trackable and visible. Everything is out there. Approval from others, follower counts, credential, degrees, money. Go on someone's Instagram feed and you see it all. And unfortunately, this is wiring you in a way that makes you believe that you need to have first something before you can become the person you want to be. Many of us are spending their whole life waiting for something, waiting for some external signs to come to you, waiting for the right moment, the right opportunities to arise. And as you probably know, they will never come. And one day you're just gonna realize that, man, I have been waiting my whole life. When you're waiting for something to come from the outside, you are doomed. One example from the top of my head that I got is, once I will have a good camera, I will start posting more frequently on YouTube. Well, I never purchased the camera because I always knew deep inside that having the most beautiful, expensive camera won't change my fears that I have inside me. It won't change the fear of being judged. It won't change the fear of being seen or to not be perfect. A camera won't fix that. It's the actions that will fix these fears. I just don't need any expensive tools to create. I just need to have the right mindset and the right identity, to ask the right questions. That how would a video creator live their daily life? What are their conscious actions that they're doing? What are the preparations that they're doing before filming a video? It has nothing to do with anything material. That's a very important distinction to make. And when you're stuck in your own mental cages, you're not even able to see that this is the answer. And as I probably earlier already mentioned, is that there are no any shortcuts or easy paths to do this type of work. But at least in my case, I have a few practices that help this progress, help this process, and supports this learning path that you're in. For me, one that I have realized is to find yourself with people that are on the same path, speak the same language as you, people that you look up to, not in a idolizing way, but people that you can pick up learnings from. You can observe their behavioral patterns, what they do during the day. That's very important, to find yourself in communities of like-minded people and not just stay alone in your own little thought bubble. Of course, being alone helps to clear your mind. It removes all the energies that are coming from outside, all the opinions. That's a very important phase to have also in your life, to be totally alone in the quiet, to realize what you want in the first place and who you are, what are your values, and you can just go through in your own calm and peace. That's what I went through now for a couple months. I have been a lot alone to just figure out myself. Has been super helpful. But recently I have been looking for communities of like-minded people and finding myself with these sorts of people. Of course, I'm still in the search, but I realized that this is the next step I need to have to keep on going towards the me that I want to be. And the second one is cleaning your environment or the environments where you spend the most time. There is a lot of things that just keep on reminding you of your old self. Let's say that you want to become healthier. You're in your health path. In your kitchen, in your cupboard, you still have your snacks, unhealthy snacks that you used to eat. You don't want to throw them away because it's food. But every time you open the cupboard, you see the snacks. You might not eat them, you have self-control that you're not going to touch them and you know it. But it still subconsciously keeps you reminding of your old self, of your old unhealthy self. So it's very important that you get rid of all of these symbols in your environment that just reminds you of your old habits and your old patterns. I dislike judging people and how they live because it's none of my business, but my pet peeve is sometimes in the evening when I'm walking outside and it's dark and I see inside people's apartments, I see that some people have these very, very cold blue lights in their living rooms. And I'm always thinking that, oh, they're so used to it, first of all. And then I can just imagine this person coming back to home after a long day at work, opening the lights, this blue light just shining all over your living room, making it so dull, so flat, so unhomey. And I'm always wondering what is even the lighting doing to someone's subconsciousness. I myself like very warm, welcoming lights at home. It just makes the environment feel homey. I mean, who doesn't want to feel like home when you come back? Yeah, that was my little sidetracking story. And my third tip is to clean your closet. Get rid of all the items that don't represent who you are from the inside. I personally hate buying clothes. I don't like owning a lot of clothes. When I go to stores, it's frustrating because nothing fits me. I'm a tall person, so it's always a struggle to find any clothing that goes well on me. So I'm basically stuck with just a few selected items. And I also like to use clothing until the end of their cycle. But however, I have reached a point where the closet that I have really doesn't reflect who I am on the inside. One day I was thinking and putting myself into words and sentences of who I am on the core. There was a lot of words that were very earthy, grounded, feminine, flowy. It was a long list, so I'm not gonna go through it now. And yeah, I started thinking that what's the visual version of these words? I really found out that I want to wear good materials. I want to wear flowy materials like linen and cotton and earthly tones. I want to adorn myself. I have some jewelry on. I let my hair grow longer because I want to also embody health. And for me, in my vision, having long, healthy hair is a way I can show to the world that I'm healthy and I take care of myself. It's a very powerful way of affirming your new identity to yourself. Imagine these situations that you want to embody a person that is very confident, has a great posture, comes in a room with confidence. And now imagine yourself wearing an old pajama t-shirt with a hole on your chest. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell you those words. Are you confident? Is your posture good? You look at yourself and it's highly unlikely that you think of those words of yourself. However, imagine that you put on a blazer, a very well structured blazer. It fits you like a glove. The stitching is amazing. It's just beautiful, beautiful fabric. Go back in front of the mirror. Look at your posture already becoming better. because you're not gonna slouch in a blazer, that's for sure. Like, it's so tight that it doesn't even allow you to slouch. So it immediately rewires you to behave how you present on the outside. And of course, you're gonna get some feedback from your environment, but it first starts from you and how you see yourself. And the last practice I started to do is to write everything in I am format. Because usually when we think of our dream self, we always write in the future what we will be. However, you take the same things but just like write them as you wear them already. Not somewhere in the future, but in the now. Your ego will scream to you, delusional. Your ego will be laughing at you. That's a fact. That's pure fact, because at the start you won't believe those texts that you just wrote. It will make you believe that these things are not true. I have always felt very shy about speaking. I wrote that I'm a good speaker, and there was something in me that wanted to avoid in writing it down. I had a lot of other things that I wrote that I want to be. Some of them were very easy to write and some were more challenging, but this one, that I'm a good speaker, for some reason I didn't even want to write it down. So then I was like, hold on, my ego is trying to fight this back. So I wrote it and it's online. It's very clearly written that I'm a good speaker. That's why I'm also filming now a YouTube video to actually fight back on that belief that I have made to myself that I'm not a good speaker, because I am. I managed to film now almost like an hour of footage of me just like yapping non-stop. These are just like beliefs that I keep reinforcing myself that are not even true, that are breakable. I have to say that yes, sometimes when I have some mishaps now, even when I'm speaking, yes, it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I just remind myself that I'm a good speaker and I'm in the phase of learning. So I do an error, but I correct myself and I keep on going. It doesn't matter. And also I consciously created this environment for myself that's removing fears. I'm alone at home. No one is listening. I have my notes next to me. I have my talking points which support me. I am comfy on the couch. I'm sitting. I have my good clothing on that allows me to move and sit the way I feel the most comfortable. And I don't have any external pressure coming, so I made myself also very comfortable in just focusing on this skill that I want to learn. And I bet that after 12 videos, if I keep on repeating the same practice that I'm doing right now, I think that after 12 videos I'm probably quite good at speaking, and I'm making way less errors in putting my ideas in words. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you really need to keep on fighting your old wirings by not quitting, not giving up. You want to live aligned with who you really are. This is the time when you need to have discipline and you need to have determination. Otherwise, you're gonna live the life by just going with the flow and letting life just take you somewhere. That's a way, but I don't know if it's gonna end up to be a fulfilling life, a life that looks like you. You just keep on repeating the things until they feel natural to you, and then your behaviors and your life path will correct accordingly. Just trust yourself. Your ego will want to keep you stagnant. Your ego will want to keep you safe. Your ego is scared of the unknown. Unknown is fear. Unknown is danger. It's such an animalistic way of thinking. And it's deeply programmed in us because it's not been a very long time since we were very primal, living in survival mode. So these patterns are still part of us. But luckily, as humans have evolved so much that we can be aware of this. We can be aware of this wiring and take control of it. The worst thing is that you just keep on waiting. You wait for signs to appear. You keep on telling yourself affirmations without actually take according action that align with these things that you keep telling yourself. You're always waiting. You're always waiting to be enough. You're always waiting to do enough. You're always waiting to feel enough. And is that a way you want to live your life? You need to start behaving like the person you want to be. If you're confident, you have the confidence to go out there and grab the opportunities that you want. If you become an entrepreneur in your mindset, eventually it's a no-brainer that one day you actually gonna build a company. You don't become an entrepreneur once you already have a company. That work has to be done already beforehand. You already have aligned all of your actions that will take you to the path of building a company. And the same formula works for everything. You have to become first before you can have what you want. And of course, when you first start practicing this way of living life, a lot of things that you keep on telling yourself might sound first impossible, but it's normal. It's normal, it's human to doubt yourself. And also you have to understand that since we are small, we have been always told that you need to have something before you can become the person you want. That's just the way that we have grown up in our society. So it's also a lot of rewiring these like old patterns that start straight from the beginning of our lives. So it's all about shedding our old beliefs and aligning our actions with our values and building this new identity based on traits that you want to have. It's all about quieting these fears that are whispering in the back of our minds and unlearning these teachings of our society and opening these mental cages that we are stuck in. Stop these distractions. We are so distracted by constant stimulation, constant up-scrolling, constant watching other people's life that you don't even care about. You just need to one day just say, I had enough and I want to live my own life. It's a challenging path to take, but once you begin this journey, you realize that this is the path that I have always been meant to take, and there is no looking back from it.